we're going to have a very good conversation. Everybody who stayed out thinking they're tired, they would have to watch the recording, but this is going to be a good one.
I'm looking
Earlier
forward to it.
this year, I had a chance to host a discussion in Libya. And then they had this guy sitting, and he was so sharp on all the questions. And I'm like, I need to know this guy. And what a friendly conversation we had. And I really want to thank you for that because since that time, you really changed a lot of my thinking, especially about OMV, Africa, and its chance to develop it. I want to start this conversation by giving you a chance to lay out the landscape on OMV and Africa, fitting that into our ambitions around fighting energy poverty, energy development, and getting better life for people here, but also in Europe, where energy security is an issue, and ensuring that Africa also goes ahead. So, Doctor.
Thank you, NJ, and it's a true pleasure to, thank you for having me here, first of all. It's a true pleasure to sit with you in this fireside chat. Let me start a little bit also maybe for the audience here. Who are we? Who is OMV, basically? Yeah? We are an integrated chemicals, fuels, and energy company. And you might have recently picked up a lot of news around us, because together with ADNOC and XRG, we formed a global joint venture on the chemical side, where we are building one of the 3-4 largest polyolefin players in the world. It's a 60 billion euro partnership, actually, that we are forming. That's on the chemical growth and the chemicals piece that we do. And then simultaneously with that, we also have a very, very strong energy business that we run and that I'm responsible for. And part of that energy business is, of course, also our interests in Africa. That's how we met each other, actually, recently. We have 5 decades of experience in Libya.
Wow.
We were among the first, actually, now after a 13-year break, to restart operated exploration again in Libya. We operate offices, by the way, in Benghazi and in Tripoli. Yeah? So we really have a strong presence there. And we are very much known for our strong partnership model that we run. We partner with the host governments, but we do not only partner with the host governments when we come, we also partner, for instance, with Zuitina, who provides rigs and services for our operated explorations. Together with Ajoko, we redevelop fields in Libya. Now, that's only as an example, but back to the big picture, we believe that Africa has a lot of untapped resource potential. 10% of global resources are sitting on the African continent, potentially even much more than that. A significant resource base on gas is available here, and we believe that gas is going to play a significant role as a bridging technology going forward and as a transition fuel. We also believe that it's very important to develop these resources to strengthen the energy resilience of Africa, to help to fight energy poverty here. Gas, for instance, can unlock LPG. LPG allows for clean cooking. There is a significant need for that still in the country. And we'd be happy to be part of such success stories. We're now in North Africa, but we're looking West and East Africa and Central Africa, where we can expand that footprint of ours. Apologies for the somewhat long answer, NJ.
No, but that's good. I think you delved into some of the questions which I had, because people would say, why now? Why Africa?
Why now? Because there is a significant demand and energy hunger out there in the world. People talk about energy transition. I think much more about energy addition. We need energy of all kinds of sources in order to suffice the growing energy demand that we have globally. If you break that down on a continental level or African level, there's a significant catching up to be done in energy per capita, in consumption, etc. And on one hand, helping basically to satisfy African demand, and if we are on top of that, able to bring some of the product also to other markets, I think we can find a win-win situation. So now is the opportunity, and now is the time to move forward via Africa, because a significant amount of resource is still here, and we need to make sure that we put that resource at its best use, that we de-risk those resources that we have, both oil and gas, and that we develop that as soon as possible.
But some would ask and they would say, well, you have a lot of other companies that operate here. What distinguishes OMV from a lot of other partners? What unique values do you bring into the African market that differentiates you from many others that are already existing in this market? You've already been in Libya.
Yeah.
You've seen what you've done in Libya, but coming down sub-Saharan Africa, what distinguishes you from others?
I think a couple of things. Number one, I think, of course, deep technical and technological experience that we bring to the table. We operate really from the North Sea, over the Black Sea, over North Africa, to the southwestern Pacific, onshore and offshore operations. We do mature assets, developments. We're active across the full value chain, and we do that for decades. We're known for our good and strong technical experience. That in itself isn't a differentiating factor. Neither would be capital or balance sheet a differentiating factor, which we also bring to the table. I think the one real unique thing that stands out for OMV is that we seek win-win partnership models with governments, with the local E&P or energy players, with the local supply chains, with the local content. And we're known to create and facilitate such win-win setups, which has allowed us to navigate also in very volatile times in some of the countries where we have been present in a very, very smooth and reliable way. People see us as a reliable partner. When we come and we enter, we come for the long term. We don't speculate. We're not a speculative investor. We come to stay. And we come to help to develop resources. And we do that by making sure that there are win-win-win combinations in our partnerships available. I think that makes us more unique than
Unique
others.
indeed. And even another more unique question, which I think many in this room and many Africans that are going to be watching this video would want to ask, how do you as OMV balance our push towards energy security globally, but also looking at an African context where energy poverty is real? I think many Africans, you've heard the story of 600 million without electricity, 1 billion without clean cooking technologies. How do we address that concern on all sides to ensure that we can still produce energy sustainably, but also ensure that we take care of human beings who want to eat and they want to have the right kind of security that we need, not just in Africa, but globally?
I think, thank you. Excellent question. And I think a good segue into what I said earlier. It's all about good partnerships. We have an intrinsic understanding that being a good local corporate citizen in the host countries where we come is part of a successful long-term relationship. And that means that you need to develop sometimes resource. Of course, also in order to satisfy both local demand, to help to try and bring forward local economies and local welfare. And only once you are successful in such a setup, there might also be product that you can bring somewhere else. But it's about that balance and understanding of, how much do I need to really do in order to satisfy local demand, local content? And it's not only about providing energy locally, it's about integrating local economies also into the entire energy supply chain, because we believe it doesn't work without the local players. You can't outsource that all to others. And that's clearly part of the success story. I think there is catching up to be done in Africa. You asked earlier, why now? Because we need to catch up. We need to make sure we help you guys to accelerate the pace in terms of overall economic development of the continent as well. Energy is fundamental to achieving that objective.
Indeed, we need to really accelerate the pace. I see we're running out of time, but having been to Vienna many times since some of the operations there, and your team always has really good photos, especially when we have the OPEC Secretary General visiting you, and you actually look even far more good looking on those photos than in person.
Thank you.
That's actually very nice. But in closing, I'll let you do closing remarks, but where is the future between this partnership? Are we going to see a more aggressive approach in OMV, looking at key African markets, key sectors, to really put that OMV flag in Africa? I remember personally so vividly when I get to Vienna for OPEC meetings, driving through, seeing the refineries, seeing the storage facilities, seeing OMV around there, and it's always that feeling like one day these guys are going to be in our continent. And I really thank you for really doing this, because you and your team gave me your word. You reminded me again in OPEC that we're going to do it, and every step of the way, these guys, they've kept their word with me, and sometimes they even move faster than I was. You got a lady there called Birgit. She wouldn't let you rest till you say yes. So we need more Birgits in Africa. And but again, Doctor, your closing remarks.
Thank you, NJ. I think two things that I want to say at the end. Number one is, yes, you will see more of us in the future on the continent.
Thank
both, you. I think organically and potentially also inorganically, if we consider opportunities as value accretive going forward. But you're going to see us organically and inorganically more. And the second thing that I want to say is rather something else. NJ, I think this African Energy Week and what you are pulling off together with the chamber is really a fantastic platform that brings ideas, the right people, decision makers, and opportunities together.
Thank you, sir.
And I can only congratulate you on that. We need more of this dialogue and exchange in order to help you with that acceleration. Yeah? So please continue that fantastic work. And
I want to thank
always
you for making
happy. I'm always happy if I can join and contribute.
Oh, you're coming. You know what they say, you go Africa, you never go back. So he finds, he's had a chance to taste our wine here. I told him to go get some steak. He didn't want to dance. And they say white men can't dance, but I think he can dance better. So we are getting Dr. Barry dancing, and sooner than later, we hope to see you do it more. It is a true honor to have you, my friend. And
Thank you.
It's
Thank you for being here.
big pleasure to see what OMV represents, not just OMV, but it's Austria as a whole. So thank you so much for being here, and let's go big next year. Thank you so much.
Thanks.